What goes around comes back around. Mercily, what goes around. Yeah, you guys, I'm no vocalist, but listen, Mercily is out there crying, okay? He's crying over biased media reporting. And honestly speaking, when I watched that entire live of him crying foul, I was like, oh my goodness. The irony of you trying to call out people for doing the same exact thing that you have been doing to others for a very long time. So we are going to talk about this entire Missy situation of him crying, and we're also going to be talking about Nicki Minaj shutting down Vegas with Tyga. We have a lot to catch up on. We're also going to be talking about Miss Westie out there letting us know that she might actually be releasing an album, and it seems like Pitchfork is out there rating Ariana Grande in an insane way. Okay, now these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great. You guys, I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's team. So first of all, you guys, we are going to talk about Mercy Lee. You guys know that Jason Lee is running for mayor in Stockton, and it seems like, the local newspaper is not messing with him at all, because I guess they were criticizing him, saying that, he does not stay, in the town and stuff like that, and, he stays out of town, so how come he's coming back to run for mayor and stuff like that. And I don't know, I guess he just wasn't happy with the publication and everything that they wrote, so he went on a whole rant, you guys, like literally a 2 minutes long rant, and he was basically crying and the B wording about the newspaper. And I'm just like, the audacity of Jason to sit out there in front of the whole world trying to shame a newspaper for doing the same exact thing that it does for people. I was like, is he bipolar? Is everything okay in his head? Because if I were him, even if they'd done that to me, I wouldn't be out there talking about it, because everybody would give me that look that, okay, you're doing the same. So I don't understand how he allowed himself to look like a clown like that, because he does the same exact thing. He was like, okay, how come you didn't report about all the positive things? Oh my goodness, we gave Christmas toys to different households. And I'm like, how many nice Nicki Minaj things have you reported? Like, for example, we won't even go back down in history like that. For example, okay, Nicki Minaj has multiple sold out shows for her world tour, and I have not seen any single positive thing that Hollywood Unlocked has posted about that tour. Okay, all they do is they clench onto a little bit of negativity that they can get. It was so bad that even Nicki Minaj's creative director, had to come out there and check him. And is that not funny that within the same 2 weeks you're out there on the internet complaining about being done dirty, when that's exactly how you have been doing other people? Personally, I'm just like, drop a tear, just, and nobody cares, okay, because you do the same exact thing. And honestly speaking, karma is a B. Some of you get annoyed when I talk about karma, but yeah, karma does exist, and karma is a B. And right now we are witnessing the epitome of karma, okay? Because all these things that he was out there spewing about, others on the internet, just making sure, like, literally, he made it his sole mandate to actually go out there and, do others dirty and spew, negativity around others. He was out there saying, I'm gonna end you, I'm gonna sue you, to Nicki Minaj. You guys remember that time, right before Nicki Minaj's album came out, when that entire Kenny and Offset ordeal, he was out there talking about, I'm gonna sue you, Nicki Minaj, I'm gonna end you, I'm gonna end your career. Well, you have ended your own career, Jason. No mayor for you. For his sake, I hope he makes it to mayor, because if he doesn't, we'll be here to remind him that, karma does exist. So I'm just gonna insert you guys, the entire live, and you guys
local
let me
newspaper
know
called the
what you
Stockton
think
Record.
about
They
that.
wrote this article about me saying unanswered questions from Jason Lee. I'm going to answer them, but I'm going to answer them in a video and put it on my Facebook, because I don't sit down with mediocre journalists. I'm not going to let no mediocre journalists tell my story, control my narrative. The Stockton Record, the reason why y'all selling y'all building and going out of business is because your piss poor journalism doesn't really capture the true spirit of storytelling. And I'm somebody that owns a media company. First of all, what I should do is write a story about them. What I should do is have my team write a story about y'all. Because if I write a story about y'all, baby. Because let me tell you something. I can dig and find out what's going on in your life. You asked me if I live in Stockton. Of course I live in Stockton, but I also have a home in LA and I have a condo in Miami. You can't fault me for having money. You can't fault me for having success. You can't be mad that I actually made it out the mud because you're a part of the strategic oppression that tries to keep people in the mud. Wrote all of that about me, but didn't mention my Forbes article, didn't mention anything, said all this gray area. Why? Because you doing the work of the devil. You're doing the work. Stockton Record is doing the work of the establishment that's trying to stop me from winning. And guess what? Everybody sees the winner, baby. That's why I came out #1. And this next campaign, if you thought that last campaign was something, if we don't take it this in the primary, baby, I'm telling you right now, you will not be able to withstand the campaign that's coming because I'm going to uncover all the shit y'all doing in Stockton. I'm going to connect all the dots between those of you who are working to oppress the people of Stockton. They got one more time to write one more article about me trying to make me look bad, intentionally trying to make me look bad. And I'm going to go ahead and write a story about you. They didn't write a story about the 5,000, the 3,000 families. Hold on a second, y'all. My food is here. Hold on. They didn't write a story at the Stockton Record about the 3,000 families that we got toys for during Christmas, or Tiffany Haddish taking photos of every single kid, or the free haircuts and the food and the food bank. They didn't write that. They didn't write about the 8,000 diapers that WAC 100 and Nick Cannon sent there for the mothers who have no diapers to give to their kids. They didn't write about my workshops that I had to teach young black and brown kids civic engagement, leadership skills, or any of that. They didn't do any of that. It's 3,000. Why? Why?
Well, there you had it, you guys. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, we are going to talk about Nicki Minaj bringing out Tyga for her Vegas show, okay? It seems like Tyga was a surprise guest, and when I tell you that, well, he knows how to rock the crowd, I'm not exaggerating, okay? He literally had the crowd on chokehold. And honestly speaking, I do love the relationship that Nicki Minaj has with Tyga. He's one of those people that I know that come what may will hold Nicki Minaj down. I love Tyga for that. And he was out there changing Rick City into Gig City. And I was like, Gig City, Gig City B. I was like, oh my goodness, that is just so effing creative. And honestly speaking, it was a good vibe. It was a nice vibe. And Tyga's not the only person that Nicki Minaj brought out. She also brought out that girl from Cowgirl, Lourdes. Yeah, she also brought out Lourdes, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's beautiful. And when I tell you that the crowd, it was absolutely lit, okay? And these are the things that mainstream does not want to talk about, but we are here, we'll talk about it, okay? We'll talk about it on their behalf, because right now we just know that, well, it's geggery upon geggery right over there, okay? And the next thing that we're going to be talking about, Red was out there thanking Drake for the Chanels, and she was like, oh my goodness, thank you, Drake. It feels good to have such rich friends and stuff like that. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that. And the next thing that we're going to be talking about, you guys, Miss Westie is out there letting us know that she is working on an album, okay? Northy decided to announce together with his dad that, well, she's going to be dropping an album soon. And surprise, surprise, the album's title is actually going to be Elementary School Dropout, okay? Now, I do love Northy, and I do feel like she's a creative. I do feel like she gets that a lot from the dad. And I do feel like as a star, she is a star. I feel like she has that star power. Now, do I think that an album titled Elementary School Dropout would be, a good idea? That's different from College Dropout, you guys. And I did see a lot of people making jokes in the comment section saying, oh my goodness, Northy, do not drop out of elementary school. We don't want to see you acting like the Transformer. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I don't know, you guys, let me know your sentiments about Northwest dropping out of elementary school to drop an album that mirrors this father's album, College Dropout, okay? And now it makes sense. You remember that time when she was out there telling us that, well, she's dyslexic. She said that, should I drop an album? So I do believe that probably by that time, her and her dad was already working on on an album. So let me know what you think about that, you guys, in the comment section. Now the next thing that we're going to be talking about, you guys, Pitchfork. Okay, Pitchfork has lately been playing in our faces. Okay, they're out here rating Ariana Grande's album, I mean, Eternal Sunshine, 7.2 out of 10, and that becomes the second lowest rated album after Yours Truly. And it seems like fans are not here for it. Fans are calling them out, saying that, oh my goodness, they always get this wrong and stuff like that. So I guess people have lost faith in Pitchfork, and whilst they're out there rating it as low as that, it is also being reported that, well, her album Eternal Sunshine now holds the record as the album to reach #1 in most countries on Apple Music this year, in 114 114 countries. And honestly speaking, that is a success. That's what I think, in my own opinion. So yeah, do hop into the comment section, you guys, and let me know what you think about Eternal Sunshine. How would you rate it? Do you really think that, well, Pitchfork is doing it justice, or you think not? Okay, now the next thing that I'm gonna be talking about, you guys, it does seem like Burna Boy is out there breaking the internet. He literally brought out Toni Braxton at his show, and of course the crowd went insane. Miss Toni just came in, did a few ad-libs, and said, you know what, peace. But if I tell you the entire crowd went mad, I'm not kidding, and I'm not exaggerating. So I was like, well, that's a nice way of bringing shock value into a show. Now the last thing that I'm gonna be talking about, which also equally has shock value, if you have any senses, it seems like the Transformer has now resorted to celebrating TikTok views. You guys, the Transformer is out there reposting that, well, her snippet has surpassed 20 million views on TikTok. And honestly speaking, at this point, I don't even know. At this point, I'm like, how pathetic do we get? Really? Is there a limit to our patheticity? There's no such word, but I'm just saying, you guys, like, is that where we are now? I mean, that's so much for someone who actually wanted to compete with Nicki Minaj. This is insane in capital. You remember the time they tried to come up with the TikTok chart? You remember that time when they tried to come up with the Billboard TikTok chart, and it did not last because everybody was just like, oh my goodness, this is so slow. I think that was the time that she released Bongos, or was it that other flop song of hers with with the husband, and people were not here for it. People were like, no, we're not going to be creating charts for people who are flopping. If you're gonna flop, do it with your chest. Okay, so yeah, let me know, you guys, in the comment section what you think about the Transformer, from saying that, well, her records live in the top 10 to now celebrating the top 10 of TikTok. Until my next one, you guys, see you.